Christmas Champ. Best Christmas videos.
Welcome to Christmas Champ Videos. Let's begin the remarkable journey of Christmas tree.
A Christmas tree is an adorned tree, commonly an evergreen conifer, which include a fir, spruce, or pine, or an synthetic tree of comparable appearance, related to the birthday party of Christmas, originating in Germany related to Saint Boniface.
The custom changed into advanced in medieval Livonia, present-day Estonia and Latvia, and in early cutting-edge Germany in which German Protestant Christians introduced adorned timber into their homes. It obtained recognition past the Lutheran regions of Germany and the Baltic governorates throughout the second one-half of the 19th century, before everything a number of the higher classes. The tree changed into historically adorned with roses made of colored paper, apples, wafers, tinsel, and sweetmeats. Moravian Christians commenced to light up Christmas bushes with candles, which have been regularly changed via way of means of Christmas lighting after the arrival of electrification. Today, there may be a huge sort of conventional and contemporary day ornaments, including garlands, baubles, tinsel, and sweet canes. An angel or famous person is probably located on the pinnacle of the tree to symbolize the angel Gabriel or the Star of Bethlehem, respectively, from the Nativity. Edible objects including gingerbread, chocolate, and different goodies also are famous and are tied to or hung from the tree's branches with ribbons. The Catholic Church had lengthy resisted this tradition of the Lutheran Church, and the Vatican Christmas tree stood for the primary time in Vatican City in 1982. In the Western Christian tradition, Christmas bushes are variously erected on days including the primary day of Advent or whilst past due as Christmas Eve, relying at the country. Customs of the equal religion maintain that the two conventional days whilst Christmas decorations, along with the Christmas tree, are eliminated or Twelfth Night and, if they're now no longer taken down on that day, Candlemas, the latter of which results up the Christmas Epiphany season in a few denominations. The Christmas tree is from time to time in comparison with the Yule tree, particularly in discussions of its folkloric origins. Supplied a connection among the primary documented Christmas bushes in Alsace round 1600 and pre-Christian traditions. For example, in step with the Encyclopaedia Britannica, the use of evergreen bushes, wreaths, and garlands to represent everlasting existence become a custom of the historical Egyptians, Chinese, and Hebrews. Tree worship become not unusual place some of the pagan Europeans and survived their conversion to Christianity withinside the Scandinavian customs of readorning the residence and barn with evergreens on the new year to scare away the Satan, and of putting in place a tree for the birds in the course of Christmas time. During the Roman mid-Icenus pageant of Saturnalia, homes have been adorned with wreaths of evergreen plants, together with different antecedent customs now related to Christmas. Contemporary birthday party of the Christmas tree is regularly traced to the symbolism of bushes in pre-Christian Icenus rites, in which Viking and Saxon worshipped bushes. The tale of Saint Boniface reducing down Donner's oak illustrates the pagan practices in 8th century. A few of the Germans A later people's model of the tale provides the element that an evergreen tree grew in location of the felled oak, telling them approximately how its triangular form reminds humanity of the Trinity and the way it factors to heaven. Modern Christmas trees originated all through the Renaissance in early contemporary-day Germany. Its 16th-century origins are now and again related to Protestant Christian reformer Martin Luther, who stated to have first brought lighted candles to an evergreen tree. The earliest recognized firmly dated illustration of a Christmas tree is at the keystone sculpture of a personal domestic in Turkheim, Alsace, then a part of Germany, these days France, with the date 1576.
Modern Christmas bushes were associated with the Tree of Paradise of medieval thriller performs that have been given on the 24th of December, the commemoration and call day of Adam and Eve in diverse countries.
In such performs, a tree adorned with apples, to symbolize the forbidden fruit, and wafers, to symbolize the Eucharist and redemption, turned into used as a placing for the play. Like the Christmas crib, the paradise tree turned into later located in homes. The apples have been changed via way of means of spherical items together with bright purple balls. At the cease of the Middle Ages, an early predecessor seems referred with inside the 15th century regiment of the Cistercian Alcobaça monastery in Portugal. The regiment of the nearby excessive sacristans of the Cistercian order refers to what can be taken into consideration the oldest references to the Christmas tree. Note on a way to place the Christmas branch, Silicet. On the Christmas Eve, you'll search for a huge branch of inexperienced laurel, and also you shall acquire many purple oranges, and vicinity them at the branches that come of the laurel, specially as you've got seen, and in each orange you shall place a candle, and cling the branch via way of means of a rope with inside the pole, which will be via way of means of the candle of the excessive altar. Customs of erecting adorned timber in Icinus time may be traced to Christmas celebrations in Renaissance generation guilds in northern Germany and Livonia. The first proof of adorned timber related to Christmas Day are timber in guild halls adorned with goodies to be loved with the aid of using the apprentices and children. In Livonia, present-day Estonia and Latvia, in 1441, 1442, 1510, and 1514, the Brotherhood of Blackheads erected a tree for the vacations of their guild homes in Reval, now Tallinn, and Riga. On the remaining nighttime of the celebrations main as much as the vacations, the tree become taken to the town hall square, wherein the contributors of the Brotherhood danced round it. A Bremen Guild chronicle of 1570 reviews that a small tree adorned with apples, nuts, dates, pretzels, and paper flowers, become erected withinside the guild residence for the gain of the guild contributors' children, who accrued the dainties on Christmas Day. 28. In 1584, the pastor and chronicler Balthasar Russo in his Chronica der Provinz Liffland, 1584, wrote of a long-time culture of putting in place a adorned spruce on the marketplace square, wherein the younger men went with a flock of maidens and women, first sang and danced thereafter, which set the tree aflame. After the Protestant Reformation, such timber are visible withinside the homes of upper elegance Protestant households as a counterpart to the Catholic Christmas cribs. This transition from the guild corridor to the bourgeois-owned circle of relatives houses withinside the Protestant elements of Germany in the end offers upward thrust to the present-day culture because it advanced withinside the 18th and 19th centuries. In Poland, there may be a people's lifestyle courting again to an vintage Slavic pre-Christian custom of postponing a department of fir, spruce, or pine from the ceiling rafters, referred to as podlasnica, for the duration of the time of the Kolyada Icinus festival. The branches have been embellished with apples, nuts, acorns, and stars product of straw. In greater latest times, the decorations additionally blanketed colored paper cutouts, wyasanonki, wafers, cookies, and Christmas baubles. According to vintage pagan beliefs, the department's powers have been connected to top harvest and prosperity. The custom changed into practiced via way of means of the peasants till the early 20th century, especially withinside the areas of Lesser Poland and Upper Silesia. Most regularly the branches have been hung above the Wigilia dinner desk on Christmas Eve. Beginning withinside the mid-19th century, the lifestyle over the years changed into nearly absolutely changed via way of means of the later German exercise of readorning a status Christmas tree.
In the early 19th century, the custom have become famous the aristocracy and unfold to royal courts as a ways as Russia. Introduced through Fanny von Arnstein and popularized through Princess Henrietta of Nassau-Weilburg, the Christmas tree reached Vienna in 1814 in the course of the Congress of Vienna, and the custom unfolded throughout Austria withinside the following years. In France, the primary Christmas tree turned into added in 1840 through the Duchess d'Orléans. In Denmark, a Danish newspaper claims that the primary attested Christmas tree turned into lit in 1808 through Countess Wilhelmine of Holsteinborg. It turned into the Getting Old Countess, who informed the tale of the primary Danish Christmas tree to the Danish creator Hans Christian Andersen in 1865. He had posted a fairy story referred to as the fir tree in 1844, recounting the destiny of a fir tree getting used as a Christmas tree. By the early 18th century, the custom had emerged as not unusual place in cities of the higher Rhineland. However, it had now no longer but unfold to rural areas. Wax candles, costly objects on the time, are located in attestations from the overdue 18th century. Along the Decrease Rhine, a place of Roman Catholic majority, the Christmas tree changed into in large part seemed as a Protestant custom. As a result, it remained limited to the higher Rhineland for an exceptionally lengthy length of time. The custom did sooner or later advantage wider popularity starting round 1815 through manner of Prussian officers who emigrated there following the Congress of Vienna. In the 19th century, the Christmas tree changed into taken to be an expression of German subculture and of Gemütlichkeit, mainly amongst emigrants overseas. A decisive aspect in prevailing fashionable recognition changed into the German Army's choice to location Christmas timber in its barracks and navy hospitals all through the Franco-Prussian War. Only on the begin of the 20th century did Christmas timber seem interior churches, this time in a brand new brightly lit form. Early Slovenian custom courting again to across the 17th century changed into to droop the tree both upright or upside down above the well, a nook of the dinner table, withinside the backyard, or from the fences, modestly embellished with end result are now no longer embellished at all. German brewer Peter Lulsdorf introduced the primary Christmas tree of the modern subculture to Slovenia in 1845. He set it up in his small brewery motel in Ljubljana, the Slovenian capital. German officials, craftsmen and traders speedily unfold the subculture a number of the bourgeois populace. The timber had been commonly embellished with walnuts, golden apples, carobs, and candles. At first the Catholic majority rejected this tradition due to the fact they taken into consideration it an average Protestant subculture. The first embellished Christmas market became prepared in Ljubljana already in 1859. However, this culture became nearly unknown to the agricultural populace till World War I, and then everybody commenced readorning timber. Spruce timber have a centuries-lengthy culture in Slovenia. After World War II all through Yugoslavia period, timber set withinside the public locations, towns, squares, and markets, have been politically changed with fir timber, a image of socialism and Slavic mythology strongly related to loyalty, courage, and dignity. However, spruce retained its recognition in Slovenian houses all through the one's years and got here returned to public locations after independence. Although the way of life of readorning church buildings and houses with evergreens at Christmas turned into lengthy established, the custom of readorning a whole small tree turned into unknown in Britain till a few centuries ago. The German-born Queen Charlotte added a Christmas tree at a celebration she gave for kids in 1800. The custom did now no longer in the beginning unfold plenty past the royal-owned circle of relatives. Queen Victoria as a baby turned into acquainted with it and a tree turned into positioned in her room each Christmas. After Victoria's marriage to her German cousin Prince Albert, with the aid of using 1841 the custom have become even extra widespread as wealthier middle magnificence households observed the fashion. In 1842 a newspaper ad for Christmas bushes makes clean their clever cachet, German origins and affiliation with kids and gift-giving. An illustrated book, The Christmas Tree, describing their use and origins in Element, turned into on sale in December 1844. On the 2nd of January 1846 Elizabeth Fielding, née Fox Strangways, wrote From Lacock Abbey to William Henry Fox Talbot. Constance is extraordinarily busy getting ready the Bohemian Xmas tree. It is crafted from Caroline's description of these she noticed in Germany. In 1847 Prince Albert wrote, I should now searching for withinside the kids an echo of what Ernest, his brother, and I have been withinside the antique time, of what we felt and thought, and their pleasure withinside the Christmas bushes isn't always much less than ours used to be. A improved to the fashion turned into given in 1848-52, whilst the Illustrated London News, in a file picked up with the aid of using different papers, defined the bushes in Windsor Castle in Element and confirmed the principal tree, surrounded with the aid of using the royal-owned circle of relatives, on its cover. In fewer than 10 years their use in better-off houses turned into widespread. By 1856 a northern provincial newspaper contained an ad alluding casually to them, in addition to reporting the unintentional demise of a lady whose get-dressed stuck hearth place as she lit the tapers on a Christmas tree. They had now no longer but unfold down the social scale though, as a file from Berlin in 1858 contrasts the scenario there in which every owned circle of relatives has its own, with that of Britain, in which Christmas bushes have been nevertheless the hold of the rich or the romantic. Their use at public entertainments, charity bazaars and in hospitals made them an increasing number of acquainted however, and in 1906 a charity turned into installation specially to make certain even bad kids in London slums, who had in no way visible a Christmas tree, could experience one which year. Anti-German sentiment after World War I in brief decreased their popularity, however the impact turned into short-lived, and with the aid of using the mid-20s using Christmas bushes had unfolded to all classes. In 1933 a restrict at the importation of overseas bushes brought about the fast boom of a brand new industry, because the developing of Christmas bushes inside Britain have become commercially possible because of the scale of demand. By 2013 the quantity of bushes grown in Britain for the Christmas marketplace turned into about 8 million and their show in houses, stores and public areas a ordinary a part of the Christmas season. Georgians have their very own conventional Christmas tree known as chichilaki, crafted from dried-up hazelnut or walnut branches which might be formed to shape a small coniferous tree. These pale-colored adorns fluctuate in top from 20 cm, 7.9 in, to 3 meters, 9.8 feet. Chichilakas are maximum not unusual place withinside the Garia and Samogrelo areas of Georgia close to the Black Sea, however they also can be observed in a few shops across the capital of Tbilisi. Georgians trust that chichilaki resembles the well-known beard of Saint Basil the Great, due to the fact Eastern Orthodox Church commemorates Saint Basil on the 1st of January. The earliest reference of Christmas timber being utilized in the Bahamas dates to January 1864 and is related to the Anglican Sunday schools in Nassau, New Providence. After prayers and a sermon from the Reverend R. Swan, the academics and kids of St. Agnes, followed via way of means of the ones of St. Mary's, marched to the parsonage of Reverend J. H. Fisher, in the front of which a big Christmas tree were planted for his or her gratification. The thrilled infants fashioned a circle round it singing, "Come comply with me to the Christmas tree." The items embellished the timber as adorns and the kids have been given tickets with numbers that matched the items. This seems to be the everyday manner of readorning the timber withinside the 1860s Bahamas. In the Christmas of 1864, there has been a Christmas tree placed up withinside the Ladies' Saloon withinside the Royal Victoria Hotel for the decent kids of the neighborhood. The tree changed into ornamented with items for the kids who fashioned a circle approximately it and sung the song, Oats and Beans. The items have been later given to the kids withinside the Call of Santa Claus. The way of life turned into brought to North America withinside the iciness of 1781 with the aid of using Hessian infantrymen stationed withinside the province of Quebec, 1763 to 1791, to garrison the colony in opposition to American attack. General Friedrich Adolf Riedisel and his wife, the Baroness von Riedisel, held a Christmas birthday celebration for the officials at Sorel, Quebec, delighting their visitors with a fir tree embellished with candles and fruits. The Christmas tree have become very not unusual place withinside the United States of America withinside the early 19th century. Dating from overdue 1812 or early 1813, the watercolor sketchbooks of John Lewis Krimmel incorporate possibly the earliest depictions of a Christmas tree in American art, representing own circle of relatives celebrating Christmas Eve with inside the Moravian way of life. The first posted photograph of a Christmas tree seemed in 1836 because the frontispiece to The Stranger's Gift with the aid of using Herman Bochum. The first point out of the Christmas tree in American literature turned into In a Tale with inside the 1836 version of the Token and Atlantic Souvenir, titled New Year's Day, with the aid of using Catherine Maria Sedgwick, in which she tells the tale of a German maid readorning her mistress's tree. Also, a woodcut of the British royal-owned circle of relatives with their Christmas tree at Windsor Castle, first of all posted in the Illustrated London News December 1848, turned into copied with inside the United States at Christmas 1850, in Godey's Lady's Book. Godey's copied it exactly, besides for the elimination of the Queen's tiara and Prince Albert's mustache, to remake the engraving into an American scene. The republished Godey's photograph have become the primary broadly circulated image of a embellished evergreen Christmas tree in America. Art historian Carol Ann Marling referred to as Prince Albert and Queen Victoria, shorn in their royal trappings, the primary influential American Christmas tree. Folk way of life historian Alfred Lewis Shoemaker states, "In all of America there has been no greater essential medium in spreading the Christmas tree with inside the decade 1850 to 60 than Godey's Lady's Book." The photograph turned into reprinted in 1860, and with the aid of using the 1870s, setting up a Christmas tree had emerged as even greater not unusual place in America. Drawing depicting own circle of relatives with their Christmas tree in 1809. Several towns with inside the United States with German connections lay declare to that country's first Christmas tree. Windsor Locks, Connecticut, claims that a Hessian soldier placed up a Christmas tree in 1777 at the same time as imprisoned on the Noden Reed House, at the same time as the first Christmas tree in America, is likewise claimed with the aid of using Easton, Pennsylvania, in which German settlers purportedly erected a Christmas tree in 1816. In his diary, Matthew Zamm of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, recorded the usage of a Christmas tree in 1821, Maine Lancaster to additionally lay declare to the primary Christmas tree in America. Other money owed credit score Charles Fallon, a German immigrant to Boston, for being the primary to introduce to America the custom of readorning a Christmas tree. August Imgard, a German immigrant dwelling in Wooster, Ohio, is stated to be the primary to popularize the exercise of readorning a tree with sweet canes. In 1847, Imgard reduced a blue spruce tree from a woods out of doors town, had the Wooster village tinsmith assemble a star, and located the tree in his house, readorning it with paper ornaments, gilded nuts and cutcheon. German immigrant Charles Minigerode universal a role as a professor of humanities on the College of William Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia, in 1842, in which he taught Latin and Greek. Entering into the social existence of the Virginia Tidewater, Minigerode brought the German custom of readorning an evergreen tree at Christmas at the House of Regulation Professor St. George Tucker, thereby turning into any other of many impacts that induced Americans to undertake the exercise at approximately that time. An 1853 article on Christmas customs in Pennsylvania defines them as mostly German in origin, together with the Christmas tree, which is planted in a flower pot full of earth, and its branches are blanketed with presents, mainly of confectionery, for the more youthful participants of the own circle of relatives. The article distinguishes among customs in exceptional states, however, claiming that during New England generally, Christmas isn't always plenty celebrated, while in Pennsylvania and New York it is. When Edward H. Johnson turned into VP of the Edison Electric Light Company, a predecessor of Con Edison, he created the primary recognized electrically illuminated Christmas tree at his domestic in New York City in 1882. Johnson have become the father of electric Christmas tree lights. Under the country atheism of the Soviet Union, the Christmas tree alongside the complete birthday party of the Christian excursion, became banned in that United States after the October Revolution. However, then the authorities delivered a new -12-month spruce, Novogodnaya Yolka in 1935 for the New Year excursion. It have become a totally secular icon of the New Year excursion. For example, the crowning super-mega celebrity became seemed now no longer as a image of Bethlehem star, however, because the red super-mega celebrity decorations, together with collectible figurines of airplanes, bicycles, area rockets, cosmonauts, and characters of Russian fairy tales, have been produced. This lifestyle persists after the autumn of the USSR, with the New Year excursion outweighing the Christmas, the 7th of January, for a huge majority of Russian people. The TV unique A Charlie Brown Christmas, 1965, became influential at the popular culture surrounding the Christmas tree. Aluminum Christmas timber have been famous all through the early 60s with inside the U.S. They have been satirized with inside the Charlie Brown display and got here to be visible as symbolizing the commercialization of Christmas. They have been satirized with inside the Charlie Brown display and got here to be visible as symbolizing the commercialization of Christmas. The time period Charlie Brown Christmas tree, describing any poor searching or malformed little tree, additionally derives from the 1965 TV unique primarily based totally on the arrival of Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. Since the early 20th century, it has grown to be not unusual place in lots of cities, towns, and branch shops to position up public Christmas timber outdoors, consisting of the Macy's Great Tree in Atlanta, due to the fact that 1948, the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree in New York City, and the massive Christmas tree at Victoria Square in Adelaide. The use of hearthplace retardant permits many indoor public regions to vicinity actual timber and be compliant with code. Licensed candidates of hearthplace retardant answer spray the tree, tag the tree, and offer a certificates for inspection. The United States national Christmas tree has been lit every year due to the fact that 1923 at the south lawn of the White House, turning into a part of what developed into a main vacation occasion on the White House. President Jimmy Carter lit handiest the crowning famous person atop the tree in 1979 in honor of the Americans being held hostage in Iran. The equal became actual in 1980. Besides, the tree became completely lit for 417 seconds, 1 second for every day the hostages have been in captivity. During maximum of the 70s and 1980s, the most important embellished Christmas tree with inside the global became positioned up each year at the assets of the National Enquirer in Lantana, Florida. This lifestyle grew into one of the maximum awesome and celebrated occasions with inside the records of southern Florida, however became discontinued at the dying of the paper's founder with inside the overdue 1980s. In a few cities, a charity occasion known as the Festival of Trees is organized, wherein a couple of timber are embellished and displayed. The giving of Christmas timber has additionally frequently been related to the stop of hostilities. After the signing of the armistice in 1918, the metropolis of Manchester dispatched a tree, and £500 to shop for chocolate and cakes, for the kids of the much bombarded city of Lille in northern France. In a few instances the timber constitute unique commemorative items, consisting of in Trafalgar Square in London, in which the city of Oslo, Norway gives a tree to the human beings of London as a token of appreciation for the British assist of Norwegian resistance all through the Second World War. In Boston, in which the tree is a present from the province of Nova Scotia, in thank you for fast deployment of components and rescuers to the 1917 ammunition deliver explosion that leveled the metropolis of Halifax, and in Newcastle upon Tyne, in which the principal civic Christmas tree is an annual present from the metropolis of Bergen, in thank you for the component performed with the aid of using squaddies from Newcastle in releasing Bergen from Nazi occupation. Norway additionally yearly items a Christmas tree to Washington, D.C. as an image of friendship among Norway and the United States and as an expression of gratitude from Norway for the assist acquired from the United States all through World War. Both putting in place and taking down a Christmas tree are related to unique dates. Liturgically, that is achieved through the putting of the vegetables ceremony. many areas, it has grown to be normal to installation one's Christmas tree on Advent Sunday, the primary day of the Advent season. Traditionally, however, Christmas timber have been now no longer delivered in and embellished till the night of Christmas Eve, the 24th of December, the cease of the Advent season and the begin of the 12 days of Christmastide. It is normal for Christians in lots of localities to cast off their Christmas decorations at the remaining day of the 12 days of Christmastide that falls on 5 January, Epiphany Eve, 12th night. Despite the fact that the ones in different Christian nations cast off them on Candlemas, the belief of the prolonged Christmas Epiphany season. According to the primary tradition, folks that fail to do not forget to cast off their Christmas decorations on Epiphany Eve ought to depart them untouched till Candlemas, the second one possibility to cast off them. Failure to have a look at this practice is taken into consideration inauspicious. Christmas embellishes are decorations, typically fabricated from glass, metal, wood, or ceramics, which are used to enhance a Christmas tree. The first adorned timber have been decorated with apples, white sweet canes and pastries with inside the shapes of stars, hearts and flowers. Glass baubles have been first made in Lascia, Germany, and additionally garlands of glass beads and tin figures that might be held on timber. The reputation of those decorations fueled the manufacturing of glass figures made with the aid of using fairly professional artisans with clay molds. Tinsel and numerous forms of garland or ribbon are typically used as Christmas tree decorations. Silvered saran primarily based totally tinsel changed into brought later. Delicate mold blown and painted colored glass Christmas embellishes have been a distinctiveness of the glass factories withinside the Thuringian forest, in particular in Lascia withinside the past due 19th century, and feature considering the fact that grow to be a huge industry, entire with famous call designers. Baubles are every other not unusual place decoration, which include small whole glass or plastic spheres lined with a skinny metal layer to cause them to reflective, with in addition coating of a skinny pigmented polymer which will offer coloration. Lighting with electric-powered lighting fixtures, Christmas lighting fixtures or, withinside the United Kingdom, fairy lighting fixtures, is typically done. A tree topper, now and again an angel however greater regularly a star, completes the decoration. In the past due 1800s, domestic-made white Christmas timber have been made with the aid of using wrapping strips of cotton batting round leafless branches developing the advent of a snow-encumbered tree. In the 1940s and 1950s, popularized with the aid of using Hollywood movies withinside the past due 1930s, flocking changed into very famous at the west coast of the United States. There have been domestic flocking kits that might be used with vacuum cleaners. In the 80s a few timber have been sprayed with fluffy white flocking to simulate snow. Less conventional conifers are from time to time used, consisting of large sequoia, leyland cypress, Monterey cypress, and Japanese juniper. Various forms of spruce tree also are used for Christmas timber, along with the blue spruce and, much less typically, the white spruce. However, spruces start to lose their needles swiftly upon being reduced, and spruce needles are frequently sharp, making readorning uncomfortable. Virginia pine remains to be had on a few tree farms inside the southeastern United States. However, its wintry weather shadiation is dwindled. The long-needled Japanese white pine is likewise used there, though its miles an unpopular Christmas tree in maximum elements of the country, owing additionally to its dwindled wintry weather color and limp branches, making readorning hard with all however the lightest ornaments. Norfolk Island pine is from time to time used, in particular in Oceania, and in Australia. A few species of the genera Casuarina and Alocasuarina also are every now and then used as Christmas timber. But, with the aid of using FAR, the maximum not unusual place tree is the Pinus radiata Monterey pine. Adenanthos serraceus or Albany woolly bush is typically offered in southern Australia as a potted dwelling Christmas tree. Hemlock species are usually taken into consideration flawed as Christmas timber because of their bad needle retention and lack of ability to help the load of lighting fixtures and ornaments. Some timber, often stated as dwelling Christmas timber, are offered stay with roots and soil, frequently from a plant nursery, to be saved at nurseries in planters or planted later exterior and enjoyed, and frequently decorated, for years or decades. Others are produced in a field and from time to time as topiary for a porch or patio. However, while performed improperly, the aggregate of root loss resulting from digging, and the indoor surroundings of excessive temperature and occasional humidity may be very unfavorable to the tree's health. Additionally, the warm temperature of an indoor weather will convey the tree out of its herbal wintry weather dormancy, leaving it little safety while positioned again out of doors into a chilly outside weather. Often Christmas timber are a big enchantment for dwelling animals, along with mice and spiders. Thus, the survival charge of those timber is low. However, while performed properly, replanting presents better survival rates. European way of life prefers the open thing of obviously grown, unsheared timber, whilst in North America, out-of-doors western regions wherein timber are frequently wild harvested on public lands, there's a desire for close-sheared timber with denser foliage, however much less area to cling decorations. In the past, Christmas tree had been frequently harvested from wild forests, however now nearly all are commercially grown on tree farms. Almost all Christmas timber inside the United States are grown on Christmas tree farms wherein they're reduced after approximately 10 years of increase and new timber planted. According to the USA Department of Agriculture's Agriculture Census for 2007, 21,537 farms had been generating conifers for the reduced Christmas tree marketplace in America, 5,717.09 rectangular kilometers, 1,412,724 acres, had been planted in Christmas trees. The lifestyle cycle of a Christmas tree from the seed to a 2-meter (7 feet) tree takes, relying on species and remedy in cultivation, among 8 and 12 years. First, the seed is extracted from cones harvested from older timber. These seeds are then commonly grown in nurseries, after which offered to Christmas tree farms at an age of 3 to 4 years. The closing improvement of the tree substantially relies upon the weather, soil quality, in addition to the cultivation and the way the timber are tended with the aid of using the Christmas tree farmer. The first synthetic Christmas bushes had been advanced in Germany at some stage in the 19th century, 11 though in advance examples exist. These bushes had been made the usage of goose feathers that had been dyed green, as one reaction with the aid of using Germans to persevered deforestation. Feather Christmas bushes ranged extensively in size, from a small 5 cm, 2-inch tree to a big 2.5 meter, 98-inch tree offered in branch shops at some stage in the 1920s. Often, the tree branches had been tipped with synthetic pink berries which acted as candle holders. Over the years, different sorts of synthetic Christmas bushes have developed and come to be famous. In 1930, the U.S. primarily based Totally Addis Brush Company created the primary synthetic Christmas tree crafted from brush bristles. Another sort of synthetic tree is the aluminum Christmas tree, first synthetic in Chicago in 1958, and later in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, wherein the bulk of the bushes had been produced. Most contemporary-day synthetic Christmas bushes are crafted from plastic recycled from used packaging substances, which include polyvinyl chloride, PVC. Approximately 10% of synthetic Christmas bushes are the usage of virgin suspension PVC resin. In spite of being plastic, maximum synthetic bushes aren't recyclable or biodegradable. Other developments have advanced inside the early 2000s as well. Optical fiber Christmas bushes are available in foremost varieties. One resembles a conventional Christmas tree. One Dallas primarily based Totally organization offers holographic mylar bushes in lots of hues. Tree-formed gadgets crafted from such substances as cardboard, glass, ceramic or different substances may be located in use as tabletop decorations. Upside-down synthetic Christmas bushes have become famous for a brief time and had been at the start added as an advertising gimmick. They allowed clients to get in the direction of embellishes on the market in retail shops and unfolded ground area for greater products. Artificial bushes have become more and more famous at some stage in the overdue 20th century. Users of synthetic Christmas bushes assert that they're greater convenient, and, due to the fact they're reusable, lots inexpensive than their herbal alternative. They also are taken into consideration lots safer as herbal bushes may be a sizable hearthplace hazard. Between 2001 and 2007, synthetic Christmas tree income inside the U.S. jumped from $7.3 million to $17.4 million. Under the Marxist-Leninist doctrine of nation atheism inside the Soviet Union, after its basis in 1917, Christmas celebrations, at the side of different spiritual holidays, have been prohibited because of the Soviet anti-spiritual marketing campaign. The League of Militant Atheists advocated faculty scholars to marketing campaign in opposition to Christmas traditions, amongst them being the Christmas tree, in addition to different Christian holidays, consisting of Easter. The League hooked up an anti-spiritual excursion to be the 31st of every month as a replacement. With the Christmas tree being prohibited according with Soviet anti-spiritual legislation, humans supplanted the previous Christmas custom with New Year's trees. In 1935, the tree turned into delivered again as New Year tree and have become a secular, now no longer a spiritual excursion. Pope John Paul II delivered the Christmas tree custom to the Vatican in 1982. Although in the beginning disapproved of through a few as out of region on the center of the Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican Christmas tree has emerged as an quintessential a part of the Vatican Christmas celebrations, and in 2005 Pope Benedict XVI stated it as a part of the everyday Christmas decorations in Catholic homes. In 2004, Pope John Paul known as the Christmas tree a image of Christ. This very historical custom, he said, exalts the fee of lifestyles, as in wintry weather what's evergreen turns into a signal of timeless lifestyles, and it reminds Christians of the tree of lifestyles, and picture of Christ, the ultimate present of God to humanity. In the preceding year, he said, beside the crib, the Christmas tree, with its twinkling lights, reminds us that with the delivery of Jesus the tree of lifestyles has blossomed anew inside the wasteland of humanity. The crib and the tree, valuable symbols, which hand down in time the authentic that means of Christmas. The Catholic Church's respectable Book of Blessings has a carrier for the blessing of the Christmas tree in a home. The Episcopal Church in the Anglican Family Prayer Book, which has the imprimatur of the RT. Reverend Catherine S. Roscombe of the Anglican Communion, has lengthy had a ritual titled Blessing of a Christmas Tree, in addition to Blessing of a Creche, to be used inside the church and the home. Chrismon trees, which locate their foundation inside the Lutheran Christian lifestyle 11, though now used in lots of Christian denominations consisting of the Catholic Church and Methodist Church, are used to beautify church buildings at some point of the liturgical season of Advent. At some point of the length of Christmastide, Christian church buildings show the conventional Christmas tree of their sanctuaries. In 2005, The town of Boston renamed the spruce tree used to beautify the Boston Common a holiday tree, in place of a Christmas tree. 150. The colic strayed turned into reversed after the town turned into threatened with numerous lawsuits. Hope you have got to know about the story of Christmas tree, and thanking you for watching this video produced by Christmas Champ. The gift of love, the gift of peace, the gift of happiness. May all these be yours at Christmas. Wishing you a season full of light and laughter for you and your family. Merry Christmas. May God bless you richly throughout the year.